Oh my, there's so much to talk about Monday Night Raw, post Survivor Series. We'll talk mostly about Survivor Series tomorrow night on the Wrestling Mayhem show. But tonight, this is the WWE Raw Wrap Up. I'm Mike Sorg at Sorgatron on the Twitters, live from the Mayhem Studios here in Pittsburgh, PA, doing a Google Hangout. My good buddy Mad Mike from Poughkeepsie, New York. How you doing, sir?
Oh, Sorg, I don't know what to think right now.
Can I tell you the secret? The secret to why I'm so chipper now. And you know you notice I didn't say much during the hangout here tonight. Just let you guys go, right? Commercial break naps. Dozed off I just like get little cat naps during the commercial breaks, and when I hear something, I'll pop back in, maybe in the middle of a match or a big show promo or something like that. It seems to work out really well, and then I can do the show, and I'm not, because you've seen a few nights where I'm just like dead and don't really want to do this. And Dog does not like that I'm doing a podcast right now, by the way. But anyways, Raw Wrap Up, WrestlingMayhemShow.com to check everything else up. At Mayhem Show on the Twitter, look up Wrestling Mayhem Show on the Facebook, Google Plus, and then we of course do this live immediately after Monday Night Raw. Check out the Twitters for the times to check that out. So okay, right off the bat, what's your big takeaway from Raw right now? That exciting?
I don't even know. Like, I was so excited after the end of Survivor Series, and Sorg, have you ever blown up a balloon, and the balloon looks really awesome, then you hand it to someone else, and they let it go, but not like let it go where it flies all around, you get to watch it and it makes funny sounds, but just like, and you just watch it slowly deflate.
Okay.
That was raw for me.
That was your experience tonight?
That was raw for me, yeah.
That's interesting. All right. So we started off big. We had a half an hour of talking. We had the Authority, of course, responding to their loss last night. We had Daniel Bryan as our interim GM for the evening, at least, which was great. Hey, great to see Daniel Bryan. I think it's really appropriate that he gets to come out flaunting in their face, considering this really, I think, mostly started just over a year ago, pre-SummerSlam-ish, with the Authority kind of forming around his rise, right?
Yeah. I already want them back.
I missed them. I
already want them back.
As they were on their way out and they were reacting to everything last night after the match, I'm just like, this is one of the best power bad guys we've had in wrestling. Like, I dare say the best since Austin versus McMahon. But we'll get into that a little bit more, I think, tomorrow night. But as far as tonight goes, we had a lot of revenge stuff. We had Concession Kane. Very enjoyable. I'm glad to see the crossover with WWE Slam City.
Yes, Slam City is now canon.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
And it was Daniel Bryan who forced Kane to do that. And Daniel Bryan and Kane had a Slam City cartoon inside the school cafeteria.
It all comes together. That's where they're getting their booking cues from. That's pretty tremendous. I'm glad somebody's watching that stuff.
Mm-hmm. That's why we also had Santino.
And I know you guys were slamming it on all night, but Larry the Cable Guy was a guest, and he popped up at least 3 times tonight. Now I know you're not big on Larry the Cable Guy. I think you're one of the haters. That's been throughout the week here. I'm not a super huge big fan of Larry the Cable Guy, but I was looking forward. I was like, this guy that's doing comedy, and we'll see how it goes. And I figured Santino would be involved. I was pleased to see that Santino was involved. How do you think about Larry the Cable Guy as far as our guests have been on Raw?
If it was just a backstage segment with Kane, I would have been okay with that. He came out looking like a really bad version of Rey Mysterio. And it happened. They're plugging a movie that apparently does not involve a doll screaming it's turbo time. I think I'm more upset about that than I am about Larry Cable Guy.
Mike is more worried about that Jingle All the Way is not canon with Jingle All the Way 1. So there's that. But
where the fuck is Sinbad? Where is Sinbad?
It'd be great if Sinbad just like made a cameo, right?
I'd rather see Sinbad guest star on Raw, Sorg. We've had Schwarzenegger. Why not Sinbad? I'm sorry. Raw just left me so like like
But you had Rusev and Sergeant Slaughter with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I would rather see Battle Royal.
I know. Why didn't the Battle Royal? Nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
Although the awkward Lana Pledge of Allegiance that we did get was pretty fantastic.
Except that he was kind of patriot raping her.
Well, of course he's patriot raping her. He's Sergeant Slaughter.
That's not good.
Patriot raping is what he does. Why am I saying these words? Why is that all of a sudden a term we can use? Well, no, that's not. No. But no, I thought it was fun. It was interesting. I loved it. This was the Good Guys 1 celebration episode. You don't get that too often, and it's not gonna be. But it's not gonna be a good.
They were the sorest.
Episode.
They were the sorest fucking winners I've ever seen in my goddamn life.
But they were the people that got screwed for how long, and how many times did Dolph Ziggler get beat up, and they took his belt.
Hold on.
I think even as far as that goes, they weren't. And one, it was Daniel Bryan that did all the screwing.
Okay, but to your point, how many times did John Cena exactly get screwed? Would that be nunts? That would be nunts.
I guess you're right.
He's the number one contender for a future title shot somewhere in the ethos.
Oh, he did get screwed, though. No, he got screwed out of that second title shot with Brock Lesnar.
Oh, wow. Woo! He didn't get screwed. It was a
He's sticking up for his brethren in the WWE.
Yeah,
he's sticking up for the Daniel Bryans that can't stick up for themselves. I guess.
The only thing I was excited about with this Raw, I'm gonna be brutally honest, there's two things that stood out to me that were amazing. Tyson Kidd ninja kicking the damn rabbit, and I am super excited about the Bellas and AJ feud. I don't give a fuck. That's a great feud.
Wow, that's weird. It's 2014 and Bellas and AJ. That's a great feud. The term of the night was, hey, talent is not sexually transmitted. I mean, we are talking about like everybody's married, right? No, except for Nikkie.
Nikkie.
That's right. Sorry, Nikkie.
Never get married. That's her new t-shirt.
Sorry, Nikkie.
That's her new t-shirt coming to shop. Nikkie, never get married.
Never propose, never give up.
Never propose, never get hitched.
Always the bridesmaid, never give up.
Oh! Sorg, can we preemptively make that the title for tomorrow's show? Always the bridesmaid, never give up.
But no, the significant others of John Cena, Daniel Bryan, and CM Punk, which means that, you know, I mean, you saw the meme on the Wrestling Mayhem Show Facebook group that Riz posted of somebody photoshopped basically Daniel Bryan making out with CM Punk. Yep. So like we're like everybody's just vicariously.
We just need to have an Eskimo Brothers triple threat tag team. That's what we need to have. That's how this has to go because AJ's technically kissed CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, and John Cena. John Cena has kissed Nikki Bella. Nikki
in the 90 places, probably.
Well, yeah, I'm sure. Nikki Bella has kissed Daniel Bryan because that was a gimmick a long time ago. So technically, they're all kind of Eskimo brothers and sisters. Oh, it's EBDB. It's an EBDB WWE.
I want to move on because holy crap. I don't even know what's going on.
What else was there to talk about though? Like,
oh, what about Big Show?
What about Big Show?
What about
the only guy who actually deserved to get some real retribution against him last night? John Cena did not seem to give a fuck that the Big Show knocked him out last night. Cena did not.
Yeah, there was nothing. There was nothing. And now Eric Rowan is going to stick up for the John Cena that can't defend himself from Big Show.
Like, Daniel Bryan made the most awkward sets of pairings after Survivor Series.
Right.
Because to me, you have, like, Ryback and Rusev. That was the big thing that happened in the match last night, and that should probably be where they go from here out, because Ryback had a really long undefeated streak. Rusev has one.
It feels like this was the detour week, as far as getting to those next feuds that would make sense for the next pay-per-view.
Well,
or we divert. It's like, well, there's some kind of logic board that's happening that's not making those connections, and we're saying, well, let's have Rowan and Big Show for whatever reason. I think I don't know. So I mean, this is the one that usually sets the pattern for where we're going for the next 3 weeks to the next pay-per-view, right?
yeah, I have no idea where they're going for TLC. No idea.
I think it's just going to split off. You're going to have a lot of these little mini feuds that spun out of Survivor Series. I mean, everybody's, we had our little bitty camaraderie, yay, we won tonight, but other than that, everybody goes their separate ways. Just like Survivor Series of old. This is not an ongoing thing. Team Authority is done with. We'll see what happens. What is the story going to be of what's going to be the replacement Authority? Or do we get like okay, let's talk about speaking.
We're gonna get random GMs until
we have to be
the Monday after TLC,
because we got at the end of the show the
Hornswoggle.
Oh, Hornswoggle's back.
Hornswoggle's texting Michael Cole again.
Yes, we got the anonymous general manager, which wasn't anonymous. We figured out who it was, so I don't understand why we're going back entirely to that well without any explanation.
Well,
but when that podium came out of nowhere, nobody noticed this.
I don't even get it. I don't. And then, at least announce something. Announce something, for next week.
Well, they said order will be restored next week.
Well, I mean, if they're gonna call it Cyber Monday, is it gonna be like Taboo Tuesday and Cyber?
That's
Sunday?
the other thing, because Taboo Tuesday became Cyber Sunday, but it's Cyber Monday technically. It's a shopping day and everything.
Right.
So I'm like, oh, cool, they're going to have an all-voting night, just like Cyber Sunday and
if
Taboo
that's the
Tuesday.
case, that's awesome.
But
I miss giving shows like that.
Then saying order is going to be restored tells me such and such is going to restore order, not the fans.
It's just going to be revealed to be John Laurinaitis again, isn't it?
Hey, I hope we get a People Power week out of this. With the cart and everything. Just give me 1 week of People Power.
I think right after the Cyber Monday show, isn't that the Slammies?
Have they announced it? I haven't heard anything yet.
I thought I read on with leather that they're with spandex. I mean that they're doing
with spandex leather.
Yeah, that too. But I thought I read that they're doing the Slammies again. Because we need Slammies apparently.
It's what we do. It's that kind of sweepsy. We can't do anything real significant here going into Christmas. I mean, I made the comment tonight that I feel like this is the off season. That SummerSlam through to Royal Rumble is like
this right now. This should not be the
wait, that's what I'm saying. But usually the weird experimental stuff happens in this area that stretch from SummerSlam to Royal Rumble, right? But I feel like we've had the least wishy-washy of those kinds of stretches. What's the great stuff with Cena Brock, and I thought the Survivor Series was tremendous as far as the main story going into it, of course. And yes, it feels like we just turned a corner and we just dropped off the hill this week. And
I really want to know if any of these GMs are going to make the WWE Champion show up.
No, I know they're just not going to even bring it up because they actually can't or whatever, right? There's no reason for Brock Lesnar. There is no reason for Brock Lesnar to show up before the end of the year.
He's the fucking champion.
Oh, yes, well for that, but I'm talking business-wise.
Okay, but all right, what is the difference? And I've asked this several times before, and no one's given me a rational answer. What's the difference between Daniel Bryan holding the belt right now and not wrestling, and Brock Lesnar doing the same thing?
It was a straight injury for one thing, so oh, you can't if we wanted to, versus this other thing. It's a storyline convenience thing, and they enact or don't enact the 30-day clause, and it's one of those things. When's the last time they have officially enacted a 30-day clause? I don't think that's what Daniel Bryan. Was that specifically what they said when they pulled?
That is exactly specifically what they said.
So magically, it disappears as needed.
And plus, the 30-day clause was always
when Gorilla Monsoon cites the WWE rule handbook written by God and Jack Tunney himself, I mean, they have, this is the thing that is imaginary that they change. It's like the thing where closed fists are magically not called as illegal anymore a few years ago. I mean, the rules change secretly and as needed. Why is a last man standing these rules instead of these rules this time? Why is a fatal four-way this way instead of this way this time? I mean, why are we tagging on a fatal four-way? Kind of rules. That's just kind of that magical ruleness of of pro wrestling. And I know it hurts your logic brain.
Well, because Daniel Bryan was stripped. Like, if anyone should make the champion wrestle, it should be Daniel fucking Bryan, because he was stripped of the championship because he didn't wrestle.
Right. And that's logic, but just because they're not going to call up and pay Brock Lesnar more money just so he can fit their logic together. I mean, that's just not how the wrestling world works.
You can at least address it.
Not if you don't address it if it reveals a gaping hole in your strategy.
Everyone knows that there's no champion.
Everybody knows, but okay, well, there's a whole other conversation about like the people that watch wrestling and what they know and what they realize, and how many people watching wrestling. I mean, yes, us on the internet that talk about it are noticing this and calling it out, but go talk to some people at the Barclays Center next time Raw's in town, and the amazing rumors that you hear amongst the crowd. By
the way, AJ's quitting. AJ is totally quitting. She is leaving.
She got buried last night, and and obviously they're putting her up. They're destroying her on her way out. And
so, I mean, the last guy that lost a title to a 30-second match, who's ever heard of him since then?
Exactly.
He just left the company, right?
Nowhere. Anyways, on that point, I think we've gone on long enough. Thank you I know we got a few viewers out there. Thank you for joining us here live. We do this a few minutes after Raw, as soon as we can get the Hangout on air spun up, and whoever can jump in from our Wrestling Mayhem show. Thanks, Mad Mike. He's at MadMike4883. I'm at Sorgatron on the Twitters, and at Mayhem Show is the show tweeters as well.
Hashtag GetWMS.
Hashtag GetWMS for a chance to get AJ Styles Volume 2 from PittsburghWrestling.com. Thank you.
Sorry, can I win?
No, you can't win.
God,
you don't
damn
qualify,
it.
Sir. You don't qualify. I'm sorry. You're a member of the team.
These are good prizes, though. These are God damn it!
Unpaid associates of SorgatronMedia.com are not allowed to participate. Anyways, with that, and check out everything else we're doing. We've got so many shows over at WrestlingMayhemShow.com. If you enjoyed this on Monday nights, since we are new, I found out something about new and noteworthy. Even if you watch us on YouTube, listen to us on Stitcher or whatever, go to iTunes, boot up that iTunes, or if you have an iPhone or something, even if you don't even use the podcast part of it, find us on iTunes and rate us, comment, please. Just put stars in there for the rating. That helps everywhere. Even not iTunes stuff, because that just filters so many places. Aside from just iTunes and the Apple people. So you have a chance. Please do that if you support this show. Help it out. Help it get out there and spread the mayhem. And we'll see you guys tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time at live.wrestlingmayhemshow.com. A link over at wrestlingmayhemshow.com as well. And we'll be talking more pro wrestling, of course, Survivor Series, and we'll be talking to a great photographer at 11 p.m. for the Indie Mayhem show that we dig around here in the Pittsburgh area. So until next week, we'll keep it raw. Yeah, we should get a tagline. Yeah, thanks, Mike.
You didn't hit the button.